So we're hearing you're leaving DOGE after like 3 Scaramucci's. What happened?
Well, the reality is I'm pursuing elected office very shortly. We'll have an announcement soon. But, Jesse, things are off to a great start. I think President Trump has proven, look at the actions that he took in that first week, the most pro-merit president I think we've had in a long time. And as for my vision grounded in constitutional law and the future of the country, I think it's best pursued through elected office. And I'm confident that they're going to succeed in slashing and burning that federal bureaucracy.
People are saying you didn't get along with Musk. What happened there?
Yeah, I think that's incorrect. But what I would say is we had different and complementary approaches. I focused more on a constitutional law, legislative-based approach. He focused more on a technology approach, which is the future approach. No better person to lead that technology, digital approach than Elon Musk. But when you're talking about a constitutional revival, it's not just done through the federal government. It's done through federalism, where states also lead the way. So I'll have to be saying more on that very shortly, Jesse.
All right,
but that's
so Elon didn't fire you.
No, we had a mutual discussion, and
Okay.
I think that I wish him well, and we're on the same page where divide and conquer in saving the country. It's not a one-man show from the top down or the bottom up. It's all of the above, and that's what I'm in for.
When you hear people say that these workers are going to get margs during work hours,
Yeah.
What goes through your mind? I mean, how do you doge those people out of there?
What goes through my mind is I'm not surprised. I mean, the fact is you've got 4 million federal bureaucrats, none of whom were elected to those positions in the first place. And the dirty little secret is the people we elect to run the government, until this last November, the people we elected to run the government were not actually running the government. That changed when Donald Trump took office at inauguration. You have a U.S. president that is actually running the show again. Look at that sweeping slate of executive orders. Look at fixing the immigration crisis. You had 4 years of illegal immigrants flowing across that southern border. In a matter of 1 week, we're now well on our way to sealing that southern border, ending these DEI programs, restoring merit. That's our American character that we miss, Jesse. And the beautiful part about this is these were man-made problems. We got a man-made solution. Now we just got to execute.
Is DEI dead? Because Al Sharpton, he's still in the trenches.
Well, the funny thing about DEI, we use this word. Ironically, it doesn't even stand for its own principles. In the name of diversity, what happened is we sacrificed true diversity of thought. And in the name of inclusion, we've created this new culture of exclusion where certain points of view just weren't welcome. That's un-American. It was neither diverse nor inclusive. And DEI and merit, you got to pick one. You can't have both. Either group quotas or meritocracy. There's no middle ground. And I think one of the things not just the Republican Party stands for, but you could see vast swaths of the American population stands for, is that we stand for merit over group quotas. That's the American way, and I think that that's what made this country great.
What's happened to the Democrat Party?
They're lost. They're lost in the wilderness. Speaking as an American, I am rooting for a better version of that Democratic Party to reemerge from those ashes.
We are?
Because I think it'll make our country better off to have actual competition.
Yeah.
Right now, they're lost in the wilderness. They bent the knee to the woke left, far left wing, forgetting about the wing that focused on economic inequality. That used to be the focus of the left. They switched to all of this racial, gender, sexuality nonsense. I think they're going to have to figure out their part. That's not my job to figure out. But I think for the Republican Party, having won, I think now is take that mandate and restore the country that we know with free speech, with merit, the pursuit of excellence. We're not victims. We're done with this victimhood culture of the last decade or two in this country. We're not victims. We're victors. We're winners. We don't whine. We win. That's the culture that Donald Trump is leading from the top. And I think that whether it's bottom up from the states or top down from the White House, that's what we want to see in this country.
Is the media winning because Acosta's being sent to the midnight shift and Maddow has a pay cut that she has to take? What's going on?
I think the market works. That's a short answer. As long as you let the free market work and people are able to make their choices, I think you're seeing people opt out of a lot of that media indoctrination. People in this country, they're not dumb. They understand. You lie to me once, okay, maybe that was a mistake. You lie to me repeatedly, I'm cutting off that cord. And so what you're seeing is a migration of people saying that if you lied to me before, I'm no longer trusting you with that. Part of that came from the federal government. Keep in mind, we still have a federal government that, look, recently, now is finally admitting COVID started in a lab in China.
Yep.
We all knew this years ago, and yet only now, years later, is the government coming around to admitting it. People are hungry for the truth. They're done with the lies. And I do think that what you've seen in the last year, it's a beautiful thing, is a lot of people now feel the permission to speak up. People in Silicon Valley, people here in Wall Street, who would not have dared to say a word in favor of MAGA or President Trump, now able to speak their mind and say there's nothing wrong with the idea of actually making America great again. We don't have to apologize for that. And I think it was President Trump's decisive victory that gave people that permission.
You'll be speaking your mind about your future pretty soon.
Yes.
I can't wait to hear what that's going to be.
Well, look, I'll tell you my home state where I'm from. I'm flying back tonight in Ohio. We look at the country over the last 20 years. Silicon Valley was at the bleeding edge of the American economy. I think the Ohio River Valley can be at the bleeding edge of the American economy for the next 20 years. People leaving this state from New York or California, right now they go to Florida or Texas. I think places like Ohio should be where they're headed in the next couple of decades.
All right, and if global warming keeps happening, and it's going to get really nice and sunny in Ohio. Yeah. Vivek, good to see you. Good luck with everything.
Good to see you, Jesse.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.